that you're carrying?
I've already given you everything.
Don't bullshit me. Give me what you're hiding.
I'm not hiding anything. Another one of those animals.
Put that thing down. Now piss off.
Halt, stranger. Not another step. You're walking on the holy ground of Kalan. The only people allowed in here are clerics, recruits, or traders with permits.
Where am I?
You are in Ignadon, at the Hort, the stronghold of the clerics. The repository of Magalan's knowledge, and the last bastion of the free people against the threat of the Alps.
So how can I get in?
Sorry, I thought I made that clear. You can only enter the Hort if you are a cleric, a recruit, or you have a trading permit.
I want to become a cleric.
Find a suggester who considers you worthy. There are suggesters recruiting across all the lands of Magalan. Perhaps you've not met one because they don't consider you worthy. But if you want to look, try Raynor. He is recruiting men throughout Abessa.
Can you recruit me?
No. I am not authorized to recruit new acolytes.
Where can I get a trading permit?
There is currently a 4-month waiting period, so unless you find a merchant who is wanting to give up theirs, then you can't. Halt, stranger.
Here. Is this enough to...
I'm going to pretend you didn't try to offer me a bribe. That sort of thing might work in Tavar, but here in Ignadon, it's an insult to my honor. Although, it has given me an idea. Accepting charge is forbidden, but if you could take care of some business for me, that would honor Kalan. And perhaps persuade me that you entering the Hort was for official business.
What is this business you need taken care of?
Well, I'm glad you're interested, but I can't really talk about this now. There's an inspection due any time. We'll talk about this later.
You have a deal. Tell me what you need doing.
Good, right. I can't talk about this now. There's an inspection due. But we'll talk later, all right? Unless you've got any questions about the Horde I could answer for you, then you can go in. Well, you can go in after you've had my briefing. You won't find Kalan's commandments too strict. You should know that anyone bringing initiates into the Hort will be responsible for them. All initiates must be clear of mind. Chems are forbidden. Anyone found taking them will need to report to the suggesters for re-education. All who are clear of mind must hear Kalan's words. All must adhere to his wisdom. We've taken losses in our battle with the Alps. And now the Berserkers and the Outlaws are trying to take advantage of that. Which is crazy. If we fall, then who is going to stop the Alps sweeping all the free people from Magalan? Those who wish to join us must come to the Hort to train. The successful ones become acolytes. That's it. Briefing over. You are free to move about Hort.
You have a lot of machines here.
The Hort holds and protects old world knowledge. We, the Clerics, have kept it, developed it, and hold it in trust for all Magalan. Our mechs hold back the Alps. I hope we can find more people to stand and fight beside them.
Who's in charge here at the Hort?
Our adjudicators, Reinhold and Ulbricht. You will find them at the rear of the Stronghold, in the Cathedral. They are served by the Paladins, Legates, and Acolytes here in the Hort. And all who are here follow Kalan. His wisdom guides us all. The The man you're looking for is Hagen. Just go through the stairs by the lava pit. He's usually up there somewhere.
The knowledge of the old world has been gathered in this place.
Just forget it.
Where did they pick you up? You look like you've walked through the whole Alb War to get here. Here, take this. It looks like you could use it. Just don't tell anyone, all right?
Interesting. They emphasize nutrition over appearance and taste here.
It might not be the best you can taste, but a healthy mind and body is better than a dead mind and body.
Ugh. How long have you been in charge of the refectory?
I was assigned here when the last food technician sent a dozen men to the infirmary. It wasn't my first choice, but the job came with a promotion, a safe posting, and a complete absence of rippers.
Do you feed everyone here in the Heart?
Yes, with help from others and our technology. It was join a faction and stay alive. So, glory to Kalan. Yes, there are some issues. Some of our order are a bit strict to the point of being an asshole, and the food sucks, but at least we're not murderous outlaws.
Ugh. Why is the food so bad?
Ignadon's rocky soil isn't the best for growing things. So, we have to supplement with manufactured substitutes. Nutritionally balanced, designed for body, and a balanced metabolism. They sort of forgot the flavor.
Why don't you trade with the other factions to get food?
That question's way above my rank. But I suppose we just can't afford to be dependent on them. But you're right. Maybe supplementing our supplies is a good idea. I know some people on the outside who haven't joined the faction. They could trade with us. Yeah, that would help them and us.
Why haven't you started trading already?
Because I want this done diplomatically. To organize something we can keep going in the future. That means finding someone who understands the people out there as well as those in here. Do you think that's you?
Where are the people you want to trade with?
They've set up a makeshift camp southwest of Hort. Find our outpost out there and go north. You'll find them there. See what they need, and if we can make this a long-term arrangement, right? That will make a real difference.
I can negotiate the food supplies for you.
This will take tact. I don't want guns waved around. There's to be no bloodshed. But if you really want to make a difference, they put together survival packs with fresh meat in them. They're hunters, you see. If you could get me 20 of those packs, anything we can get to supplement what the foraging units bring in has to be a help. So talk to them and see if you can make it an ongoing arrangement.
What goods have you got?
Of course.
You didn't come here to pray, did you? I can spot the devout. And you don't look like you're here to ask for divine assistance, am I right?
You're wrong. I'm here for Kalan.
Really? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who didn't want to see the truth about themselves. You know, there is a reason why I wanted to talk to you. For all the thirst for knowledge in this place, people can be a little focused. They want logic, straight answers. They forbid anyone from looking deeper into things. And that's crazy. I mean, knowledge is wisdom. Wisdom brings you closer to Kalan. So what's wrong with getting some answers? Which brings me to you. I'm betting you have answers, and I'm betting you're the curious type.
I don't want any trouble.
Who's talking about trouble? It's a trivial matter, really. But then I guess that's why I keep getting in trouble. So, are you going to help me?
Teach me something.
Yeah?
Tell me your problem.
Have you ever heard of the prophet Arvid?
No. Should I have?
Oh, yeah. He's the founder of our order. The reason why the Clerics exist.
Tell me about Arvid.
Well, sure, okay. Like I said, he's the founder of our order. He was born about 200 years ago, we think, and he was the first to be enlightened by Kalan. After the comet hit, it was his burden and his privilege to lead people into a new future, to save those who had survived. The first followers were here, in the Horde. They had saved technology from destruction, and Kalan showed them how that technology could be used to help all the people of Magalan. They reached out to others, but not everyone listened. You can see what became of the rest when you look to Tavar.
What did Arvid do?
He wrote the rules that have bound us here in the Horde. And our ancestors began research on how Elex could be used for the good of all. With it, even though our community was small, we were able to defend ourselves from the malice of the godless.
All seems a bit vague.
Yes, I know. I mean, some details have been lost in time. Some believe Arvid still remains among us, although that is nonsense. Some uneducated people wanted to proclaim him a god, even during his lifetime, but he always spurned this idea. It is likely that he saw his time coming. According to the lore, grief about the unreasonableness of people tore him apart from the inside. And when he could take the pain no longer, it is said that he left the people with the words of Kalan and went into the Great Light. Scholars are still arguing to this day about what the Great Light is exactly. Some say that he rose to heaven, to Kalan. Others claim that he set forth to find the reason for the crater. But that's exactly my point. I want to know more, but only certain scholars are allowed to see the text. But there's something about Arvid, something about those early works that doesn't make sense. And I can't work out why. But will they let me in the archives to study his writings? No. I sneaked in, they threw me out. I was lucky to avoid re-education. Concentrate on what's right here, right now, they told me. It is only possible to change the future if you draw the correct conclusions from the past, they said.
So you need access to the archives?
No. Well, yeah, that would be great, but for now, I just need a book. All that I want is a copy of Arvid's teachings. There has to be a written copy, or a recorded copy somewhere. It's just not available to us out here. And that bugs me. So, do you think you can get into the archives and get it for me?
I'll think about it.
Good. Great. I would like to give you the following, in any case, before you are on your way. I am certain that I can get something from the recordings that will be of use to all of us. Then, maybe, I'll finally understand what our purpose is.
I will get you the book from the archives.
Thank you. This is one mystery I can't wait to solve.
Why is this book so secret?
Because we are to serve Kalan in combat and not to interpret his words. They say we are missing the necessary vision to understand his divine message. But I would like to learn that for myself instead of having it spoon-fed to me. Maybe it's nothing, but I can't let it go.
What can you tell me about the archives?
It's a store of knowledge from before the comet hit, and it is where all information found in the rest of the world is brought. Our archivists are attempting to glean all sorts of information from the scraps of data we were able to retrieve from outside the Horde. The work is very time-intensive, so the archivists don't like it at all when people interrupt their work. So, they will have you thrown out if you manage to get into the archives without authorization.
Any suggestions for how I get into the archives?
I've been thinking about that, and there are 3 ways. You could watch to see when Carl, the guard on the archives, leaves his post. That might take a few hours, and I personally have never seen him leave his post. But hey, he has to move at some point, doesn't he? Or you could access the security console and put your name on the access list. But the simplest and most obvious solution is for you to join the Clerics.
What did you think of the last sermon?
To be honest, I wasn't really listening.
But aren't you interested in what's going on out there? How Kalan's will can be done?
Do you really think they're telling us the truth?
Well, of course. Why would they lie to us?
Are you really that naive?
Not now.
Successful. The Clerics have achieved great things with the technology that was entrusted to them. Who knows what they can achieve in the years to come?
Routine running without error.
If you have something to report, speak to Judicator Reinhold. Hey, you! I need an adjustable wrench and a set of retaining rings. And, if you are up for it, bring me a weapons-grade Elex battery, a pressurized air intake valve, and what was the last?
I'll send someone to get them for you.
Stop! 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 Weren't you assigned to support me?
Help with what? What is it you do here?
Hold back the forces of hell. And I'm talking literally, not figuratively. I think I will have to get the tool myself. Next, you will send me someone who can't even recognize a screwdriver. The machines we build and maintain here, they are all that will stop the owls. But, do I get the resources I need to do the job properly? Do I, hell?
What's gotten you so stressed?
We used to work. We used to make things and think of the future. But now everything we do is for combat. I didn't become a mechanic for that, but I suppose we all have to do our duty if this war is to be won.
You'd have more time for work if you stopped complaining.
Complaining? This is telling you the facts. It is my responsibility to keep things running here. We are the only ones who can really stop the Alps. That takes a toll. That means everything here has to go smoothly. That means I've got to get production running at full capacity. And it means I need someone to take care of some of the day-to-day things, while I get all this working properly.
Pay me, and I'll help you.
Deal. It's not like I have time to waste. I need you to get me a set of replacement parts. With all the mechanics we've lost recently, we are chronically undermanned here. So, this list has been sitting here waiting to be sorted. If you're available, I need you to get over to my supplier and get me those parts, okay?
You'll trust me with your shards, just like that?
You're here to do a job, so I'll give you the tools you need to do it. Good luck. We need those parts.
Where can I find your supplier?
He's a trader. He sets up business near the gate during the late evening hours.
Teach me something.
It's done.
Not now.
Hey, do you have my package?
What package?
What? Oh, excuse me. Just forget it.
If you're here to train with me, then forget it. If I see you running around with an holstered weapon, you're going to get a very painful weapons safety lesson. You have to earn the right to train here, Initiate.
I'm not an initiate.
Well, then you're no concern of mine. I don't train people in the basics. You need to be part of this faction, understood?
So, you're a combat instructor.
I am Paladin Hagen, and I teach more than combat. I teach the art of fighting. Body, mind, and spirit combining into the finest fighting force. Only the purest, strongest, and smartest can train with me. You see, there's been war on this planet ever since that damn comet came down, and we are the only ones who can end it.
How can I train here?
I only train acolytes and above. And even then, I choose who I train. You must want to commit. You must want to understand the art of combat, not just the brutality.
You said you are a paladin?
Correct. Only a paladin is allowed to wear armor like mine. But we paladins aren't just warriors for Kalan with special abilities. But we are also researchers, searching for new uses for Elex.
How can I become a paladin?
Oh, wait. You are being serious.
Yes.
Well, first you have to go to Judicator Reinhold and prove that you are worthy of joining the Clerics. If Judicator Reinhold accepts that you have the right abilities, then you'll be permitted the honor of becoming an acolyte. That is the true beginning to your journey. Acolytes may become legates, if they have enough training and they earn the honor. And it is only legates who have the right to be promoted to become a paladin. If you truly wish to succeed, you'll need to focus on achievement at every level. Without that, you will never advance.
What goods have you got?
Okay.
Cleric Bertram has returned to our side. We give thanks for his safe homecoming, and welcome him back among his brethren. And so, another stray comes to seek safety in the arms of Kalan. Welcome to the Horde, the stronghold of the Clerics. Your presence here can only mean that Kalan's light shines upon you. Open yourself to this opportunity. Give yourself over to the teachings of Kalan.
I will.
Your dedication will be rewarded. Kalan sees all. Act in his name, and he will strike down your enemies.
Who are you?
I am Oswald. When Brother Rayner found me, I was just a wretched pile of misery. I was blind to who I could be. Rayner built me up, gave purpose to my life. Now, I'm spreading the teachings that saved me from destroying myself, in hope that those words can be the salvation of others, that they can save all of Magaland. So I invite you to stay here and contemplate with us, brother. They receive the teachings of Kalan in whispers. They must reject the distractions of the world and give themselves over to the pursuit of knowledge. Each must seek the purity of knowledge. Each must seek out the strongest, the fittest, the brightest. And so, Kalan came to the people and promised if they did this, if they worked together to follow the path to the infinite skies, then he would save them from the horror that was to come.
I was hoping I would find you here one day. I couldn't really talk to you in Goliath. Here, please take this as thanks for your help getting me out of Eden.
Were there any problems during your escape?
I'm still breathing, but only just. As you surely remember, Rika, the wife of the warlord, assigned me to a group that was transporting a seedling. I got a good way from the fort, traveling disguised as a cultivator.
So what happened?
Well, the armor is one thing, but eventually they asked me questions about my job. After all, those berserkers had nothing else but that damn vegetable.
And were you found out?
Yes, I could see their suspicions growing, so I used the next chance I got to get away. When we were ambushed by a mulch, I fled. Luckily, I ran straight into the hands of a cleric patrol. From then, it was child's play to get back to Hort from there.
That's all I need to know.
Right. Well, thank you for everything.
What is this place?
Here, we bring peace and honor to those who refuse Kalan. For only an honorable death can bring salvation. Only an honorable death can purify a tainted soul. And so, I bring honor to the souls who break Kalan's commandments.
Interesting. We clerics do have a most advanced set of technology, and yet our justice is primitive.
Words like that show you need re-educating. Lead me to my prayer.
Kalan be with you. What brings you to me? Are you here to pay your tithe?
I'm not here to pay anything.
All who stay here must pay their tithe to honor Kalan. But let's get to the point. As the highest suggester, I don't have much free time, as I'm sure you understand.
Suggestion?
The correction of those who have strayed from the path of the pure. As the High Suggester, I assist the minds and souls of the lost to return to Kalan's ways through suggestion. Kalan's will works through a skill all clerics must learn. The mind must be free from false teachings. The body pure, free of the poison of Elex. Only then can we be at one with Kalan and his community. As a patriarch, it is my job to guide and advise. The will of Kalan clears the mind.
How do you clear someone's mind?
Through suggestion. We have developed technology, implants that allow us to guide the minds of others. It takes training, but it means we can bring people back to the pure path, or suggest to them that they do things that will assist us. It is an art that only the clerics understand.
Can Albs do that? With their mutants?
The machine components you see on some wasteland mutants? We believe those allow the Albs a measure of control over the mutants, but it is a crude form of the suggestion we practice here. Some say it is because they are strong of mind, others that it is because they have been poisoned. But I think the answer is more straightforward. Their commanders are using an extreme form of brainwashing on them already. Their minds are already being controlled.
So this is where you brainwash people?
No. You can't force people to change who they are. You can only bring out their better traits. That is what I do. I re-educate people. That is what I must do now. There is a poor wretch who requires re-education. Leave me. I must help him find the light of Kalan.
That was a strange choice. It is an incredible feat of engineering. We clerics certainly know how to make science practical.
So, here is the Wanderer I have heard about.
You've heard of me?
I know everything that happens here. So much so that some have taken to calling me the Eye of Kalan. I am Reinhold, Judicator. I stand watch for all those in the Horde, and the Horde stands as the guardian for all of Magalan. Such a duty requires vigilance. It means I must ask of everyone who comes here, are you friend or foe? Do you come here to gain the blessings of the Clerics, or to oppose us?
Yes, I want to become a cleric.
Then Kalan will welcome you. Good. I can see potential in you. Let us hope that this potential can be realized. May your time in the Horde be peaceful and productive.
Tell me about the other Judicators.
Judicator Johann fell on the battlefield. His is the highest honor. May Kalan have mercy on his soul. Judicator Ulbricht is responsible for the defense of Idan and all operations outside its borders. His is the grave duty of overseeing the war against the Owls. If you have any intelligence that might help him in his duties, you will find him in the upper halls of the cathedral.
Tell me more about the Clerics.
What would you like to know?
Tell me how promotion works within the Horde.
People who are new to our ranks are welcomed as an acolyte. Acolytes can learn the art of suggestion, train and learn the fundamentals of our way of life. The same applies for our legates and paladins.
Where did you get your technological knowledge?
Arvid himself left behind this knowledge. The gathering of old world knowledge, and the order to further it, was his greatest gift to all who have followed him. It has given us the machines that allow our way of life to continue. It has given us the technology we need to be ready for the next challenge we face. So, as you see, science and religion do not have to be mutually exclusive. Because we are the last bastion against the Owls. Our strength, our faith, and our technology are the only things that can stop them. Where the outlaws profit and the berserkers roll in the dirt, we have knowledge. The knowledge to make the world into what it once was, and much more. Join us, and you can participate in our knowledge, faith, and our technology.
What's happening in the city?
Kalan is wise, but mysterious. Through the prophet Arvid, he warned us of the comet and the downfall of our world. He laid down the foundations for the clerics out of the ashes of the old civilization. To Kalan, knowledge and wisdom are sacred. It is through knowledge and understanding that we can find our way to the infinite skies and a true understanding of ourselves.
Infinite skies.
A place of true enlightenment and salvation. Kalan teaches us that the comet's fires will not be the only challenge we face in our quest for survival. If we are to save the people of this world, we must teach them Kalan's ways, that we must work together and gather all the knowledge we can. Because when the next catastrophe strikes our world, Only those who have been prepared will survive.
So, who are you? The welcoming committee?
I am adjudicator. I oversee everything in the Horde, from punishment to initiation.
Explain the rules of the Horde to me.
Well, Kalan's commandments are simple and fair. They are rules to be found in many places, but to us, they are sacred. Theft, physical assault, murder, the dealing of chems are all punishable offenses. You may face a fine, re-education, or for the worst offenders, execution. And of course, your soul will pay the price. Stay with us, and you will learn of Kalan and his ways. Abide by the words of the great prophet Arvid, and you will open your way to eternity.
Eternity. Check. So, you decide who becomes a cleric and who doesn't.
Correct. Initiates are only allowed to join us when I decide they are worthy. And should they complete the tasks that are given to them, then I would welcome them into our community. And every acolyte that joins us can then begin on the path of enlightenment to gain promotion here.
I'm ready. Give me a task.
As you wish. I could use the help of someone who hasn't had time to establish themselves here. Someone with a more objective viewpoint. We've recently had to deal with the sad deaths of some of the faithful who wandered right into the arms of a chem dealer. Every one of us suffers temptation, and all must hope they can prevail against it. But those who deal in misery, who exploit the weakness of others, they are a problem that must be eliminated. Complete this task, and you will open the door to becoming a cleric, a true warrior for Kalan.
Is chem dealing a big problem here in the Horde?
I had thought we were free of their vile product, but it seems we do have something of a problem. A large reward has been offered to anyone able to bring them to justice. That should prevent this from becoming a bigger problem. If you think you can find these dealers, I would welcome your insight.
It is interesting that in a faction that focuses on data, its people are seeking an escape through chems.
The tired, the weak-minded, the vulnerable are being preyed upon. These animals are adept at spotting those who are susceptible.
So, you think you are responsible for holding back the Albs?
That is the task of the Clerics now. Personally, I oversee the defense of the Horde. It is Judicator Ulbricht who is overseeing the war against the Albs, but then at least his work is black and white. There are Albs and there are Clerics, while I must decide which category these separatists belong in. Visitors, vagrants, travelers, and enigmas, they are all part of my responsibility.
About the chem dealers here in the Horde.
Yes?
Do you have any leads on where they may be operating?
Well, I had given Dietrich the task of investigating them, but he doesn't seem to have had much luck so far. You should check what lead...
I think I know who the chem dealer is.
So, you have already spoken to the 3 guards and collected their reports?
No, I haven't spoken to them yet.
And yet you still think you can name a suspect?
No. I had better review the evidence before making an accusation.
That would be wise.
State your business. Only officially authorized personnel may enter. The archives are sacred stores of knowledge. Our faith preserves us, and we preserve the wisdom of our ancestors.
Forget it. I was about to go anyway.
Then don't let me keep you. Kalan bless your path.
Another thing about the archives. Is there a copy of Arvid's teachings in the archive?
Of course, all of Arvid's wisdom that remains is stored here.
Can I read Arvid's teachings?
You? No.
Why not?
Because only those chosen to study his writings may do so. You have not been chosen.
I think I've heard enough about that.
Good.
What are you studying?
Everything that brings us closer to our goal.
What does that mean?
It means passing Kalan's tests. Kalan only takes those who are pure, and so to preach his words, we must be the purest of all. And knowledge, facts, interpretation, and analysis are the purest form of all devotion. And science is the purest of all the forms of study. It brings clarity to the mind. To achieve purity of the soul, we must understand ourselves. The berserkers and the outlaws will never have the discipline for that. They live in the moment. We have committed ourselves to the future. May Kalan open the infinite skies for us all.
Do you also study the old world?
Of course. If we repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, it could lead to another catastrophe. That is one of the reasons why we only task those with the strongest wills to study. Who knows what corrupting influences these artifacts could have?
Where do you get the material to study?
It takes persistence and luck. We send out our reclamation squads to search old world ruins. First, the selected area has to be pacified. As soon as that is done, we begin salvaging the valuable pieces and bringing them here.
Those areas tend to be infested with mutants.
There's a lot of planning involved. But even so, there are expeditions that don't go perfectly. Kalan teaches that knowledge comes at a price, and it is those who dedicate themselves to recovery of these artifacts that pay the highest price. I had better return to my duties. You must seek elsewhere for more answers.
You must be dedicated to do this role.
It's my life. I guard here. I keep the archives safe. I draw strength from Kalan. A prayer break in the night is enough to keep me going for the rest of the day. Now, do us both a favor and leave. This area is off limits.
Yes, the newcomer. Now, there is a face that shows the world as it is. Conflict, friendship, betrayal, and trust. Let me get a look at you. Whatever you have seen, you are free of it now. You've reached us here.
Interesting. So, you think we should wipe our memories? Surely our experiences could prove useful.
Experiences, yes. But most people come with fears and worries and guilt from their past. Here is a place to forget those things.
It sounds like you're trying a sales pitch on me.
Oh, faith sells itself. But sometimes it helps to point people in the right direction. Tell me what you want.
The clerics say that they are leading the fight against the Alps. But do you really expect you can beat them with the forces you have here in the Horde?
Faith is a weapon that can achieve much. I believe in Kalan. I believe in the technology he's given us, and in the men and women who carry it. We clerics were the first of the factions to rise after the ashes of the comet, and while other alliances have come and gone, we have prevailed. So, we shall continue to do so, if it is Kalan's will that we should do so. But, if you ask me if we can hold out against the Berserkers, the Outlaws, and the Albs, then I would ask whose interest would the destruction of the Horde serve? And the answer can only be the Albs. You've seen them. The converters they build on our lands. The will of Kalan shall be made real. We will drive them from the converter in the north and from the lands of all the free people. The clerics shall prevail, and I hope that other factions can realize this in time to save themselves.
You need to find someone to unite the factions.
We must work together if we are to survive. but we must work together with Kalan to lead us all. We must find a way to persuade the other factions to agree to work with us. Then together we can destroy the Albs. I need an ambassador for this task. Someone who can take my proposals to the other factions, but to know if you are suitable for this role, I must know who you are, and I need an honest answer.
I don't know who I am now, but I was Jax, an Alb commander.
And you walk in here and confess that? Since when do Albs come to talk? Are you lying? Or are you here to kill me? Draw your weapon.
I'm not here to kill you. I was Jax. Now, I'm trying to find out who I am.
Then, you have renounced the hybrid and joined the Free People?
I am free from Elex. I'm exiled from the Ice Palace. I was betrayed, and now I'm being hunted by my own people.
So you're here seeking protection? To save your own skin? Or have you really escaped the Elex and seen the life there is outside Zekor? Commander Jax, the Alb, standing here. That is not something I would have believed. Yet, here you stand.
I was a wanderer. Now, I seek a cause.
Well, whoever you were shouldn't matter. The present counts for all, and yesterday for little. Kalan says the past is there to teach us, not judge us. Renounce your past, and you can come to Kalan in wisdom. That will take courage. And in these bleak days, courage is vital if we are to save this world. But you must have questions. Ask, and may Kalan bring you enlightenment.
Will you wait for an Alb attack, or strike first?
The converter has to be taken out of operation. It is the only way to free Ignadon, and the longer they sit there, the more time they have to prepare. We need to attack the converter, but it will take a major offensive, and that will cost us in lives and material.
Are the Albs still attacking the Horde?
It has been some time since their last major assault. But I'm sure you know that already, Commander Jax. The attacks we've suffered took too many brave souls. Souls who would have been better improving Megalan than lining graves. The death of Judicator Johann was a particular shock. But for the price that was paid, there was one exacted, and the Albs haven't attacked us in such strength again. Well, that is my hope. They could simply be massing for a bigger assault. We've had time to retrain, regroup, but it is hardly a secret that we are short of personnel. So, if you are here working for the Albs, you'll see nothing that's not known already. And we know that the Albs have used the time to entrench themselves deeper at that damned converter of theirs. Perhaps securing that was the extent of their plans, or perhaps they're just waiting for us to attack it before they strike again.
What do you know about the Alb forces? The most recent information I have is that Commander Uruk has 3 garrisons supported by fighting machines and colossi.
Then I can only hope they haven't brought up any more reinforcements.
Why have you waited so long to attack? Surely they get stronger while you're waiting.
The answer to that should be obvious when you walk around the Horde. While our production lines have made up for our losses in fighting machines, they can't do the same with people. And the death of Judicator Johann has left us with another issue. The shortage of a commander with real field experience.
What about you? Can you lead the attack?
No. That is far from my skill set. Logistics, defense, and interpreting Kalan's commandments are where my strengths lie. We need someone like you. An experienced commander. Someone who understands the Albs. What about you? You've seen the world. You must understand something of the Albs. Will you fight with us? Soldier or commander, we need people who've seen the world.
I don't know. My memories of those times are only fragments. Though I'm sure I was betrayed so someone could take my place.
No? Well, humility is an important trait in a leader. Or do you have another reason for not wanting to be considered?
If that is so important, why entrust it to someone who has just walked in through your doors? Do you always trust people so easily?
I trust my faith. and there is something about you that tells me you have a part to play in all that will come. Faith will show me the way, but perhaps you are intended for a different role. Will you go out as an ambassador to the free people? Speak to those who lead the other factions. Find me someone with experience, someone independent, someone who can lead. That in itself will give you a hand in shaping all our futures.
I will find you your experienced commander.
Good. Then go out to the other free people. This commander will be a symbol of the need for us all to work together. Be they separatist, berserker, or outlaw. Find someone with experience of leading troops in battle. Someone willing to risk themselves to stop the Albs. Someone willing to lead from the front by example.
You sound like you really believe we will find someone out there.
Faith and necessity sometimes breed hope. You should ask the leaders of the other factions if they will take on this role. If they decline, try their commanders. May Kalan and good fortune be with you. We must find an experienced commander if Magalan is to be free. They will need to be skilled and ruthless to succeed.
What is it you want?
I need to ask you some questions about the chem dealing.
So, Reinhold's brought in some more help. I've already written the report as ordered, but remind me, who are the chief suspects?
Siegfried, Hagen, and Oswald.
That's exactly who I wrote up in my report. All that I know is there. Maybe it will help.
Thanks. What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Horde?
Well, take a look at this. Reinhold has sent you to investigate, has he? Well, that works well for both of us. Remember? You promised to take care of some business for me. You owe me a favor. Well, I'm calling that in. I want you to tell Reinhold that Siegfried is the chem dealer.
Why Siegfried of all people?
He's a suspect, isn't he? So there you are. He's a cagey guy. Doesn't share his business. He needs re-education. So you can report back that it's him. Job done. Turning him in will help you and help me too. Trust me, the Horde doesn't need traders selling unregulated goods. So I want you to report back that this trader, Siegfried, is the dealer. Say he's guilty. Job done. And I'll know you've done the Horde a favor.
And what if I don't do that?
I don't think you'll make that choice. That wouldn't be helpful for anyone. But the decision is up to you. If I find out that you accused Siegfried, then I will be satisfied. If I find out you didn't, well, I'm sure we don't need to consider that possibility. Here's the report I've compiled. This is as far as I got with my personal investigation. I think reading that will show you the wisdom of simply reporting Siegfried now. Good luck.
What can I help you with?
I want to ask you some questions about the chem trade here.
How do you know about that?
Judicator Reinhold sent me. I'm supposed to have a look at your reports from the time of the crime.
Judicator Reinhold sent you to look into this? Oh well, I suppose he knows what he's doing. Here's my report on the suspects. That's all I know.
pure.
Have you heard anything about chem dealing here in the Hort?
Only the Judicator Reinhold and Dietrich are seeking those responsible. I know that they must be successful. And once the impure are led to them, Kalan will see that they are punished. The faithful must grow. The word must be spread.
Kalan will save me.
You're obviously not here willingly.
No shit. I was kidnapped so they could try and brainwash me into joining this cult. But they won't get me so easily.
Where are you from?
Tavar. A bunch of these assholes came over the border. These idiots I was with were too busy fighting among themselves to see the clerics creeping up on us. They ambushed us out there and then dragged us to Igniton after we'd been wounded.
But you do have a plan.
Plan? I don't have a plan. Not yet. I just know I have to get out of here. I won't let them turn me into some mindless slave.
And you expect me to help you?
Expect? I don't expect anything. But I hope you can see what these clerics say about free people is bullshit. They don't care about freedom. They want to brainwash you. So, will you help me?
Interesting. Do we help this murdering outlaw, or do we leave him stuck in this morally objectionable situation? This is a dilemma.
It wasn't murder. It was early self-defense.
Maybe.
Maybe? What's maybe? This is a world of action. Maybe won't save you when they try to fry your mind, like they tried with me. You think on that.
As far as I'm concerned, you can rot here.
Sure, right. Shit for brains. 'Cause that's what you'll have when they get hold of you. Shit for brains. You'll go and fight for them. Or just sit in a corner and dribble. I'll see you then. And at that point, you might as well be an alb.
What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Hort?
I know I don't have anything to do with it, and I don't want to be connected to it either. Fighting is about purity. Chems are far from pure.
How can I earn something for myself around here?
You take the next step of the journey and show your commitment. The Hort suffered an attack by mutants about a week ago. They came from the north or northeast, and the survivors returned that way. The men I sent after those survivors haven't returned. If you find out where the mutants are coming from, there will be a fair payment waiting here for you.
I'll kill those mutants.
I'll give you the coordinates I sent my men to. See if you can find out what is bringing those mutants so close to the Hort. Then kill them and return to me. You're dismissed.
What goods have you got?
Okay.
Bought me the goods. I mean, that's why you're talking to me, right? You have the goods. Where are the goods?
What is it you want?
Want? Goods! Goods! What the hell is what I want? How am I supposed to TRADE trade without goods?
You're a traitor?
I was, because you know what a trader needs? Goods!
It does not appear that this trader has lost everything. We should clarify what is in his possession before we talk terms.
What I have left in my possession is not available for sale. If it was, I'd sell it.
You don't have any goods?
No, it was a total fuck-up. The caravan that was bringing them went straight through Ripper country in the middle of breeding season. Guess how that good idea went. The men are dead, but the goods are sitting out there just waiting to be picked up. Unless some outlaw's taken them back to the fort already. Oh, fuck it. This was supposed to be my payday. But if you help me, it still could be. And in return, I can get you into the Hort. How about that?
I've already been to the Hort.
Then you want shards. I can sort that out if you get me the goods.
Where can I find these goods?
Head northwest, then follow the road west from there, and you'll find them for sure.
I'll find your goods.
Yeah, that's it, that's it! Finally, a break. Right.
No, you won't get my help. There were too many of them ready for us.
You should talk to someone else. I can't help you.
You'll have to deal with things yourself. I can't help you.
Trolls, mantis...
So, you're here to report for initiation.
Initiation?
Instruction. Education. A preparation for readiness. My name is Dietrich, and it is my job to ready all new initiates for the trials that will face them. But before you ask any more questions, let's get one thing clear. All the free people need to be properly trained if we want to survive what's coming. Those Albs want to destroy us all. I won't accept a lack of discipline. I expect loyalty, hard work, application, and results.
What do you think is coming?
The Albs. What? Do you think they will just disappear tomorrow? And while we are waiting for them, the outlaws are plotting something in Tavar. That Duke has plans. So, we must plan too. Plan and train. If you want to progress, then that's what I need to see. That's what Kalan expects. It is what you should demand of yourself.
What do you want me to do?
Someone has been undermining the training program we have here. Some of the initiates have been caught taking chems. I mean, it's a crazy thing to do, but some people do it to gain an edge, but end up becoming addicts. Look at the Albs. I need to find who is bringing this poison in and selling it to our initiates. You don't have something to do with it, do you?
Without proof, you should keep accusations like that to yourself.
I wanted to test your reaction. You'd be tied up and neck-deep in jackal shit by now if I really thought you were behind it. Remember that, if you get tempted in the future. But whoever it is, I want these bastards dealt with. And if you found one set, can you find these assholes too? I want you to track them down wherever they are, in the Hort or beyond. Are you with me?
About the Elex smuggling. I will find the criminals behind this.
Good. My information says that the Elex is coming from somewhere to the south. There's a recon post there, in the ruins of an old fort. Start there, and turn everything upside down if you have to. If our people don't cooperate, show them this warrant. And tell them I want answers.
Why do you trust me with this?
You weren't here when all this started, so you can't be part of it. But this isn't just blind trust and hope. I'll be watching you and making sure you stick to the task.
If the training's so strict, how come you're just sitting around?
I do so every day, and my tasks aren't easy. I take care of internal matters and coordinate training. And I get into the field when I can. You have to stay sharp to provide the best training, and to understand our enemy. If we are to work with the free people, if the clerics are to save the free people from the Alps, this is what we must do. That will be all. Dismissed.
That was well done.
How are you doing, Falk?
It is hard to say right now. Let me think further.
I'm here on an investigation. I have a warrant here, and you are to cooperate.
A warrant? What are you looking for? You'll find everything in order here.
The clerics and Horde have a different opinion.
For fuck's sake, then tell them to come out here and show me how to do it better. I'm starting to get sick of this constant mistrust. Have your look around. Check what you want. You won't find anything. Well, did you find... I told you there is nothing out of order here. We keep things tight and ordered here. We live by the rulebook right down to keeping our storage trunks secure.
If that's the case, then you won't mind me inspecting those trunks.
You can check mine, but you'll find nothing but a few pieces of clothing. But please, here, be my guest.
I'm in. I inspected your storage trunk.
Congratulations! Then you can inform the Horde that my laundry is in order.
You know exactly what I found in the trunk. Why would a cleric have a set of outlaws' clothing?
Part of our job here is reconnaissance, and sometimes a disguise comes in handy. Can you understand that?
I'll let the clerics and the Horde decide that.
That's all you want? Yes, I'm an outlaw, but I'm not an idiot. Look, all I'm doing is dealing a few chems. Nobody gets hurt. The clerics want this stuff. And if you let me keep going, I will give you 1/10 of my earnings.
Interesting. A conflict between financial gain, social advancement, and moral opposites. I will be fascinated to learn your decision.
Look, whatever he's talking about, this is a good deal, okay?
We're not making any deal. Get your stuff and get out of Igniton.
Just like that? No chance. I'll get you.
Oh! And what am I supposed to tell Dietrich? He sent me here for answers.
Tell him everything is fine here. There is nothing to report. The chems must be coming from So, can I count on you? Think about it.
Okay.
Good. Now, we just have to get the people who sent you to stop sniffing around. Give them the clothes you found in my trunk and tell them you took the dealer down. If the dealer's dead, they should stop looking, right?
The chem smuggling is over.
And so, who was behind this?
Yes, I took care of the culprit.
You did. And where is the body?
These are his clothes. I took them off his body as proof.
You took them off his body. This body better not turn up walking and talking somewhere. But, very well. Let's say this matter is closed. And I will tell the necessary authorities the service you've done for me.
Thanks.
I thank you. That will be all. Dismissed.
I think I know who the chem dealer is.
Well, please tell me who you think is responsible.
I think it was Oswald.
Oswald acts like a pious, Kalan-fearing person, but there is something strange about him. Maybe this explains his behavior. Thank you for your work. I will investigate this further. If he is really the suspect, then he will receive a just punishment, and you shall receive the promised reward when that happens.
I would like to become an acolyte of the Clerics.
You would. That matter with Dietrich was good work. Finding the men behind the chem dealing was the highest priority. But that aside, you've proved you are ready to act in Kalan's name. We need to add more good men into our ranks. If you are ready, I will name you an acolyte of the Clerics. But remember, devoting yourself to Kalan is a life choice. You must turn your back on the other factions. So are you sure that you want to become a cleric?
Yes, I want to become a cleric.
So be it. The clerics have stood against all those who would see our world, our civilization swept away. From the day the comet hit our planet, we have been the guardians of technology. We have preserved and developed the tools that will keep us alive. And we have done all of this in the service of Kalan. Kalan, whose wisdom guides us all. Today, we welcome a new member into our community. He was a wanderer without a home. He was an outcast and searching for purpose. But his path is clear now. He will master his new duties, firm in his faith in Kalan and with great courage. Yes, we are few, but our numbers will soon increase. Do not waver. As long as good people join with us, like this one here, there is good reason to hope. Now go and make us proud. Spread confidence and salvation. Cleric of Ignadon. Cleric of Ignadon.
Excellent.